Zion Williamson is a Hall of Fame gooner. Yo, what's up, guys? Everyone, today we're coming out my official 2024-2025 NBA playoffs tier list. I have a couple of tiers I'm gonna get into. It's gonna take me some time to deliberate between a couple of these tiers. Let me go ahead and show you guys all it is. So we have S tier, championship contenders; A tier, second tier contenders, which is more so a conference finals. The B tier would be second round ceiling. At the most, I see them being a second round exit. C tier, at the most, I see them going out sad in the first round. D tier, mid/playing, and then F tier, bottom of the barrel. These are the teams that are top 5 or so for Cooper Flag. So yeah, but other than that, let me go ahead and fire up the stream and let's get straight into the video. The Milwaukee Bucks, head into the playoffs right now. Their second option is not even a starter. It's probably Kevin Porter Jr. behind Dame. Bobby Portis came back 2 days ago during their 24-point comeback against the Timberwolves. He had a nice, I think he had like a close to like 18-point double-double. Shout out to Bobby Portis. But Kyle Kuzma hasn't really looked good for them in terms of that. Bucks fans have been saying that Jericho Sims been pretty solid. I haven't really tapped into too much Jericho Sims, but I've seen of KPJ's been good. Now, does KPJ need to be in jail? Abso-fucking-lutely, but he has been hooping, so I'll give him that at the end of the day. So I'm gonna give I think the Bucks really have a ceiling at the very most because they have Giannis. I'm gonna give them that. I'm gonna say second round ceiling. I'm not incredibly high in this Bucks team, but at the very most, I think there'll just be a second round team. Now, if they go out sad in the first round, would I be surprised? Absolutely not. Especially since they don't have Damian Lillard because he's out with the blood clots. Right now, they're the 5th seed. They'd be up with the Pacers. I see the Pacers winning that series, to be honest. Yeah, with all due respect, it's just my respect for Giannis. I mean, he's a top 4 player at worst in the sport. I gotta give him at least something, huh? But X Factor is a PD user and interview user, literally. And you got the troll Kyle Kuzma, who last time I was watching the Bucks, they literally were guarding him like he was who? Like he's Josh Hart. I'm trying to think of a random player that just gets left wide open. It used to be Draymond, but Draymond's been sniping this season. Championship contenders. First one right here, I'm gonna give the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers are, I had this pulled up earlier. The Cavaliers are, I think they have the best offensive rating in basketball, and they have at the very worst like the 3rd defensive rating in basketball. So they have a top 3 offensive defense in the league right now. So they have the best offensive rating, and they have they actually have the 8th best defense at this point. Interesting. Boston, welcome to the NBA Finals. I'll be honest, I'm gonna put these in order. I'm gonna have Boston number 1 for sure. I know they aren't shooting like how they were shooting last year, but y'all saw that shot Porzingis said the other day on TNT against the Knicks. Bro pulled a shot from a good like 35 feet, nothing but net. Yeah, I know Jaylen Brown's in the midst of like a down season, and Tatum's PR is literally some of the worst in the NBA, but the Celtics are still the best team in the league. You heard it here first. Yeah, the Cavaliers. The big question for the Cavaliers is really, I think it's gotta be between, Darius Garland and Evan Mobley, and if they're going to be able to replicate this regular season success in the playoffs, because last year Darius Garland was playing so bad in the playoffs that they quite literally were about to trade him until they didn't, and they ran it back and got Kenny Atkinson, who was a lot more competent for these current Cavaliers team than Jimmy Bickerstaff, who's been doing this thing with the Pistons. We also have a big season out of like guys like Ty Jerome, traded for DeAndre Hunter, so this is a different team. Definitely gonna be a lot of pressure on them. First overall seed in the East by a good amount. Again, Hawks allegations, 2015 or 2017 Hawks allegations. Like Cavs, if y'all go out sad, it's generally over for you guys at this point. Got the double big lineup. See, that's gonna work in the playoffs. You have a small backcourt. and your starting small forward currently is Max Strus. I mean, DeAndre Hunter will get started minutes. You get Dean Wade minutes. You get Ty Jerome off the bench. But yeah, man. It's now or never, Cleveland Cavaliers. Still think this is one of the top 5 teams in the sport, but hey, if y'all don't show up this postseason, man, it might be over. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It might generally be over. Clippers in 2025. Clippers literally got what, the 3rd best defense in the league right now, man. Let the Clippers cook. They got the claw coming, ready for the playoffs. We got the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics, like I just mentioned, I think they're the best team in the league, even over the OKC Thunder. They're a top 10 offense, top 10 defense, and on any given night, they can get you with a cool like 20 to 22 threes a game, and you'll be like, and then they're also a really good defensive team as well. So this is just an incredibly scary team. They have the 2nd best offense and the 5th best defense. So yeah, top 5 in offense and defense, and they have an abundance of different players that can kill you. You got Tatum, Brown, Porzingis. Don't forget Al Horford, Peyton Pritchard. You got Sam Hauser can give you a game. Luke Cornett give you some good minutes as the backup 5. Jrue Holiday, Derek White can win you a game. Both of them can win you a game. This is an incredibly scary team. Definitely my number 1 pick for championship contenders right now. They could definitely run it back. I would not be surprised whatsoever. You just obviously hope you get more so a more, you know, complete offensive game from Tatum this time around, like efficiency wise. He was really good playmaking wise last postseason, but he definitely had some games where he just like, what, the tour date? Like, what are you doing, Tatum? But like I said, his PR is generally some of the worst in the league. So if he does have a good playoff series, that would definitely help boost that. But gotta be one of the most hated superstars in the league, so that's tough for him. But at the end of the day, he's the champion, so who really cares at this point? We got the LA Clippers. Like I mentioned earlier, they have the 3rd best defense in the league currently. Kawhi's been looking pretty good as of recent. James Harden's not really efficient, but he's still having random outbursts of like 40, 35, even like a 50-point game this season. Zubac is in the middle of the best season of his career. Norman Powell's, last time I checked, he was on a minutes restriction. I'm not sure if he's still playing less than like 30 minutes a game, but they still have Bogdanovic. He can definitely win you a game off the bench. So let me check about Norman Powell real quick. Norman Powell, yeah, he's been in and out of the lineup. Like he's out today's game against the the Rockets. Before that though, he did play a good amount of minutes. So the Clippers have the 3rd best defense, and they have the 16th best offense. So they have a mid offense and a really good defense, which makes sense if you watch the Clippers this season. Obviously, you want to see what James Harden can give you in the playoffs. You want to see if Kawhi can stay healthy for a whole entire playoff run. You want to see what you get a Norman Powell in a playoff setting, as he's going to be one of the he's going to be high up in that scouting report, especially after a all-star-like season this season. You got Zoo, see what he can do in the playoffs, as the game is definitely going to speed up. See what he's going to do this season. And then you obviously going to have guys like I mentioned, like Bogdanovic, alright legend, Chris Dunn can hit you a couple threes, Amir Coffey can hit you a couple threes. You know, it's going to be interesting for sure, but at the very most, I'm kind of being like lenient right now. Like if you would have asked me a couple weeks back, I'd have been like, yeah, 1st round ceiling. Now, for what I'm seeing from the Clippers recently, I'm gonna have them in 2nd round ceiling. Now this next one is tough. The Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are just a tough team, because if Ja's at the peak of his powers, I have them at the 2nd round ceiling. If he's not, I have them at a 1st round ceiling. But they always have abundance of talent as well. Obviously, you fired Taylor Jenkins. They got Thomas. I forgot to pronounce his last name. It's like Isolo or something along that line, I should say. I don't know. In the year 2025, the way John Morant's played for majority of the season, if he could be your number 1 in the playoffs. Triple J's in the midst of a career season. Desmond Bane, I feel like he's had a pretty good season as well. Definitely went under the radar. You also have really good role players. Jalen Wells, that injury sucks, so they now need somebody to start the 3 alongside. They're starting 5. Obviously, they're starting center is Zach Edey. I'm trying to think right now, who would be the starting small forward for the Grizzlies? Would it not just be like Santi Aldama at the 3? He's like that'll be a pretty big 3, to be honest. Definitely a better shooter than Jalen Wells, but you obviously lose his defensive versatility. That's kind of tough. But you wouldn't start like a GG Jackson. Yeah, it would have to be Santi Aldama at the 3, huh? You're definitely not going to start Luke Kennard, especially not if you want to get some more. Not if you want to lose as much defensively, huh? Oh, this is tough. Ooh. So the Grizzlies are only half a game ahead of the Warriors right now for the play-in spot. The Grizzlies have how many games left? Like 2? They play, no, they have 3 left. They have, oh my god, they play against the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. So 2 playoff teams, and then the Mavericks with Anthony Davis back. The Warriors, they're only a half game behind them, and they go against the Blazers and the Clippers. They can definitely beat the Blazers. They have to beat the Clippers, though. They really lost to Harrison Barnes last night. Like, I don't know what that was. The turnovers from Draymond Green in the clutch. Jimmy Butler turned the ball over. That was just brutal. Absolutely brutal. I don't know what that game was last night. I'm gonna say that the Grizzlies, let me see. The Grizzlies, those are 2 tough games against teams that I think are superior to them, the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. The Timberwolves are tough. I'll never give up on them, I'll be honest. I'll never give up on the Timberwolves. This is tough. I'll have them as, still, with all due respect, what are they right now? 2-7? I'm sorry. First round ceiling still. I still have them as a first round ceiling. Like, this is tough. This is tough. This is tough. This is tough. Because it's like, let me see. I might have to make a new tier. First round ceiling, I'll have mid. You can be mid or you can be, I mean, usually mid teams are in the play-in though, unless you're just in the West, which is like this superior conference. But I'll have them in the first round. So like, I'm not incredibly high on the Grizzlies, to be honest. They have a lot of depth, but from what I see from Ja Morant this season, he's been good in the last 10 games, which is obviously what you want to see. But in a matchup, like let's say they're the 3rd seed, they go up against the Lakers. I have the Lakers winning that series, so I don't know what they would possibly do. Let's say they're in the play and then they go up against the Thunder. They're not beating the Thunder. They could beat the Rockets for sure, but they're not beating the Thunder. I'm sorry. They can beat the Rockets for sure though. It'll be tough. It'll be tough though. Damn, that's tough. The New York Knicks. I have them in. I might be maybe too high on this team. So like I said, the first tier is championship contenders. The second tier is secondary contenders. Secondary contenders are kind of conference finals. Out of the Knicks, second tier contenders. Might be a little more high on this team than maybe the general popularity is. But you have 2 All-NBA guys. You have Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns. OG Anunoby's been really good over his last like 15 game stretch. Mikal Bridges. Maybe not 5 first round picks good, but he definitely is a good player in this league. Josh Hart, ultimate hustle guy, off the bench, you know. You still have Mitchell Robinson. You might get a jolt here and there from Campaign. Precious Achiuwa may give you something he might not. The Precious Achiuwa experience. Tom Thibodeau. Yeah. If the Knicks are in the conference finals, I would not be surprised, to be honest. But that's just like their peak. I don't see them in the finals. I see them. They might, if they somehow beat the Celtics or Cavs, get into the conference finals. But finals, I don't see that happening. With all due respect to the Knicks, of course, it's just And maybe Mikal Bridges is a legacy series or OG. They have the utmost confidence in Brunson. And in terms of Cat, I mean, the verdict's still out on Cat. He had a couple of good runs last year in the playoffs, and then conference finals, I believe off the top of my head, he didn't play particularly well against the Mavs. So yeah, a lot of foul trouble for Cat, weirdly enough. The Knicks, in terms of offense, they have the 5th best offense, and they have the 13th best defense, which is interesting because they have a defensive-minded head coach in Tom Thibodeau. I got the Lakers. The Lakers and the Warriors are 2 teams that I was thinking about before I did this. They're like teetering the line. Are they championship contenders or are they second-tier contenders? Obviously, I have a trio of one of the best in the league. You have Luka, you have LeBron, you have Austin Reeves, you have good role players, and Rui Hachimura. You got DFS. But your starting center is still Jackson Hayes. Shout out to Jackson Hayes. He's definitely been a lot better than I think we thought he would be. But in the playoffs, where again the game speeds up, how much can you really trust, Jackson Hayes? You're gonna go LeBron small ball at the 5 or DFS small ball at the 5. You might get a fake Gabe Vincent playoff game. You might get, I don't even know, let's say Jared Vanderbilt gives you like 3 corner threes or something. Who knows at this point? I want to give them championship contenders just because that trio on paper is just lethal. They've been really great together too. Luka, LeBron, and Reeves. That trio is genuinely disgusting. And most of them have 5 teams in here. So at the top, what I'm looking at right now, I'm looking at 5 teams, and I think I have them picked out. So you have the Lakers as a championship contender. If you asked me this when the Luka trade went down, I don't think I would have had them here, as funny as that sounds, because they didn't have a center. They got Mark Williams. They were like, oh, I like them for sure. And then that trade got rescinded with Dalton Connect to the Hornets, and then I was like, I'm cool on the Lakers. But man, they have been absolutely hooping recently. The defense has definitely been down. They have a mid defense. They only have the 16th best defense in the league. Offensive wise, though, they have the top 10 offense, 15th defense. This is tough. Luka, LeBron, Reeves. Enough said. You gotta pray Rui Hachimura can hit his threes in the playoffs, in DFS as well. Gabe Vincent as well. You have to pray a lot of guys can, steal you a couple of games for sure. Role players matter so much. Okay, the Magic, blunt as it is, first round ceiling with all due respect. 2, they're Orlando Magic. It's just, the offense, man. The defense is amazing. The defense is amazing. The offense is piss poor. Second best defense. 4th worst offense. Shout out to Paolo and Franz. No Jalen Suggs, brutal. Wendell Carter Jr. starting in the year 2025. Interesting. Just not many spacers on this team. KCP's, I guess, been solid as of late, but he's definitely not been the guy you thought he would be. The only spacers, a guy that really doesn't get any clock, like Jet Howard or Caleb Houston. The spacing is just terrible. They're just gonna double team, play zone against the Magic, and it might get disgusting. But they also have a great defense, so they can maybe muddy it up and have some 1990 type scores. But I have them as a first round ceiling with all due respect to the Magic and to Paolo and Franz. Nuggets, second round ceiling, I would say. I don't think I gave that to Jokic, like I gave that to Giannis. It's just Jamal Murray, he's currently injured. He's not having a terrible season. He obviously would want more because he's obviously now on that close to, if not is on that supermax contract. MPJ, Aaron Gordon, by the way, he's been great at shooting threes this year. It's been genuinely absurd how great he's been at shooting threes this season. Shout out to Christian Brown, should be top 3 for MIP. Shout out to Peyton Watson, Penn State legend, Jalen Pickett, Russell Westbrook as well. Give you some good spurts of energy. Obviously, they fired Mike Malone. They got what's his name? David Adelman, son of former NBA head coach David Adelman. But no, David Adelman, son of former NBA head coach Rick Adelman. I always get those confused for some odd reason. I don't know why. Yeah, I have them in the second round. Right now, they would face up against the Clippers, and I think they could take that game, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough defense to go up against, but yeah, they currently have the same record right now, 48-32. So, yeah. Pacers, would go up against right now the Milwaukee Bucks, having the second round ceiling as well. You guys remember this, like around the All-Star break, I would probably say first round exit, but look what I saw from them this season. They obviously don't have the same offense that they had last year, but they still have a really good offense. They have the 8th best offense defensively, always be a concern. They have the 15th best, so they have a top 10 offense and a mid defense, second round ceiling. Halliburton's having it close to, you know, he might sneak into all NBA third team, to be quite frank. Siakam's been pretty good. Shout out to Benedict Mathurin and Andrew Nembhard. Still want to see some more from Jarvis Walker. Shout out to Miles Turner. TJ McConnell's always sneaky as well. Obi Toppin's been really good. Shout out to Aaron Nesmith as well. And Rick Carlisle. Definitely a very underrated team right there. Shout out to the Pacers. Pelicans, Cooper Flags here. Traded Brandon Ingram. Zion Williamson is a Hall of Fame Gooner. CJ McCollum has like 12 30-point games. Shout out to him. Shout out to my boy Trey Murphy. Need to see some more Jordan Hawkins though, and Antonio Reeves as well. Shout out to Carlo, the like 52nd overall pick this year's draft, and shout out to Yves Missi out of Baylor. Like I saw out of him from what I've seen this season. Shout out to them. But this is just an awful year. Injury bug hates them. A lot of DeJounte Murray as well. They currently have the 4th best odds to get Cooper Flag, so, or they may get another one of these guys as well. So, not the worst possible scenario for them to have an awful season. They have a good amount of guys to get in that range. Let's hope they just don't fall down. But other than that, yeah. Pistons, out of the Pistons, I think they have I'm sorry, I'm not incredibly high on the Pistons just because they don't really have their second option again. Fluctuates between coming off the bench and starting, and that's Malik Beasley. Not the biggest Tobias Harris guy. Jalen Duren's pretty solid, but he's not a second option. Isaiah Stewart has been good defensively this season, but again, not a guy that I'm incredibly scared of. Like, let's say, spacing wise, he's still guarded. Like, you know, he's not really a shooter, even though he's not been shooting it at the clip that he was shooting last season. But that's a different discussion for a different day. I have them as a first round ceiling. I've seen people have some takes that the Pistons might beat the Knicks. Personally, that's not where I stand. I have the Knicks incredibly high, to be quite frank. They just have a way better offense, and in terms of losing Jaden Ivey and not really having a true second option, this is pretty brutal. I mean, shout out to guys like, you know, like Malik Beasley may have a game from like Simone Fontecchio or you know, just Tobias Harris or Mario Randables come out the woodworks and just be like, yee. I'd be like, that's tough, but they do have the 10th best defense. They have the 14th best offense, so top 10 defense, top 15 offense. Detroit SC, I mean, they just really don't have a second option. I mean, it's tough, you know. It's tough, but I don't see them going particularly far in the playoffs. Like, shout out to Cade, but they only really have like a handful of shot creators. Like, maybe multiple shot creators on this team. Cade Cunningham, shout out to Marcus Sasser. Not a lot of guys that can create their own shots. A lot of just catch and shoot guys, to be quite frank. Jaden Ivey, he was a great, not a great, but he was a pretty good shot creator. There's only so much you can go with this current team. Like, shout out to them, they've had a great season, but playoff wise, they gotta be serious. They're just not gonna go far, in my opinion. So, gotta be blunt here. So it is what it is. Rockets, they've been red hot recently. They just beat the Warriors not too long ago. Beat the Thunder as well. I have them in the second round ceiling. I'm not incredibly high in this team. They're obviously a phenomenal defense, but offensively they're definitely like mid. Like, defensively they have the 4th best defense. Offensively wise, they have the 11th best offense. It's just first option Jalen Green. He can obviously pop off, or he can shoot a tour date. Şengün has not been incredibly efficient, but he's definitely been better as of late. Again, just not really number one options. They probably won't have the best player on the court at really any time, but this is definitely a good team. Dylan Brooks been really good this season. Tari Eason, Amen Thompson's been really, really good. Fred VanVleet can definitely get a game out of him for sure, though I'm not incredibly high on Fred VanVleet. Steven Adams have randomly been having these double big lineups, so like Steven Adams and Şengün somehow working. Spacing wise isn't great, but this is objectively a good team. It's just, I'm just not personally incredibly high on them. Second round ceiling, I don't think it's bad for a second seed for a pretty young team that was looking like destined for the play-in for a little bit, and then they got randomly red hot, and now they're going to be a second seed, pretty much like confirmed, huh? The Phoenix Suns, aka the Phoenix Buns, bro. This team fucking stinks. Holy shit! How do you have 2 borderline maybe superstars, or maybe superstars full on, Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, and you can't even make the play-in? Bro, this team is fucking terrible. Holy shit. Bradley Beal was one of the greatest legalized robbers of all time. And is that really all I have to say? I mean, I just gotta be blunt. This team is not good. This team is terrible. Bro, the Suns, they're always on national TV, I feel like every single week. Who keeps putting the Suns on national TV? Bro, they get killed every first half of every single nationally televised game. I just don't get it, bro. This team isn't good. Can we please get them off national TV, bro? This team isn't good. Like, it's generally sad how awful this team is. 12th best offense, just to have the 4th worst defense. Like, this is sad, bro. Play this is for the Suns. I like the Suns, not Cooper Flag because they're not a bottom 6 team, but you're in the mid playing team, buddy. Now let's see what this is. Play this for the Suns.
I mean, saying it respectfully, I don't know how teams are gonna guard us.
Oh my god.
I mean, saying it respectfully.
Literally reminds me of that John Moran shit. He's like, I'm not scared about anybody. I'm not scared about what did he say? I'm not scared of anybody in the West, but maybe in the East. Oh, was that all that just to miss the play? Now that's actually diabolical. Booker may have to request that trade, buddy. Not looking good for the Phoenix Buns right now. All right, Thunder. I have the Thunder as a obviously championship contending team. Shout out to SGA, probably will win the MVP. Big question for the Thunder this season, though, playoff wise. Jalen Williams, aka J-Dub, will you show up this time around? Last time around, you were very disappointing because in that Maverick series, you were definitely not good. Chet Holmgren, will you show up? Other than that, those the role players, you know, Eric Wiggins, what will he do in the playoffs? Caruso, Cason Wallace, Lou Dort, Isaiah Hartenstein, double big lineup, but Chet Holmgren again, like the Cavaliers. Let's see what happens. I think they're gonna double Shea. They're gonna force Lou Dort to shoot threes. They're gonna double the hell out of Shea. They're gonna make everybody spot up shooters, to be honest. But can J-Dub, break out of that box? Can Chet break out of that box? Defensive-wise, they're phenomenal. They have top 3, I think, offense and defense. 3rd best offense, the best defense in the league. Again, like the Cavaliers, OKC Thunder, it's now or never. Hyped up all last year. You lost to Derrick Jones Jr. in the Mavericks last season. PJ Washington, some clutch free throws on you. He had a great regular season. When it matters most, will you show up? I think they will. Maybe not win it all, but they have to be at the very worst in the conference finals. They're not in the finals though, to be honest. Golden State Warriors. When they got Jimmy, I was like, okay, cool, whatever. They've been really good with him. He hasn't been playing phenomenally, let's say scoring wise, but he's doing the little things: rebounding, playmaking, defending, getting to the free throw line. He had like a 28-point game last night in the loss against the Spurs. 16 of 17 from the free throw line. Hit an occasional 3 every now and again. Draymond Green, he somehow got himself in a DPOY race, and he's, I think, still the leading favorite for DPOY. Definitely been hooping. Been hitting his threes. Shout to Pods, been hooping his ass off. Shout out to Quinn and Post. Moses Moody, shout out to him. Kuminga, hopefully it can be their X factor in the playoffs. But this is my last championship contender team. I had them right at the end, right at the last one right here, right behind the Lakers. Curry had a 3-point game. He had 1 of 10 against the Rockets. And Ben Thompson, will he show up for a full playoff series? Let's see. It's the third option for this team. It can be anybody. Like the first 2 options are obviously going to be Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler, but it can be one game. The third option can be Kuminga. Then it'll be Pods. Then it'll be Buddy Hield. It might be GP2 or shit. It might even be like Quinn and Post or Moses Moody. They don't have like a concrete third option. I mean, it's really between Jonathan Kuminga and Brandon Podziemski. Those 2 guys have to show up for the Warriors for sure. And Buddy Hield, he's either gonna make or break your series. He can win you a series or he can lose you a series. He can shoot you in a game, he can shoot you out of a game. That is the Buddy Hield experience. Last but not least, the Timberwolves. I have them on the second round of stealing. Shout out to Anthony Edwards. They have a lot of really good role players as well. This is a team I'll just never give up on. They're really good defensively and offensively. They're a good offense as well. They have the 6th best defense and they have the 9th best offense. So they have a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense. If Anthony Edwards, obviously you want to see what will Julius Randle give you in the playoffs, but outside of that, really good role players, Naz Reid, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, aka Nah, Jaden McDaniels, Dante DiVincenzo, just a really good amount of role players. Let's see what somebody like a Mike Conley could give them. Maybe they give some minutes to like a guy like a Rob Dillingham or Terrence Shannon Jr. or somebody else of that ilk. Maybe for defense, somebody like a Jalen Clark. They need like the extra oomph. Or the Aussie Joe Ingles, maybe somehow, some way gets himself some playoff minutes. Not a high chance of that, but with Chris Finch, who knows? Sure, I'm not missing anybody on the Timberwolves that I did want to go ahead and mention. I think that was it, to be quite frank. Yeah, that was pretty much it. But I got into everything right there. So overall, championship contenders: Celtics, Thunder, Cavs, Lakers, Warriors. I only have 1 second-tier contender. Okay, second-tier contenders only have 1 team for the conference finals? That's actually tough. I mean, these other teams could obviously make a conference finals as well. There won't be 5 teams in the finals. So, I just don't know. I just don't know if I see the Bucks in the conference finals. Probably not. Clippers, no. Nuggets, no. Pacers, not back to back. Rockets, personally, no. Timberwolves, honest, I might put the Timberwolves high, to be quite frank. Your boy Goon. Don't know what I'm reading, Albert. Let me see. Let me see. I might move the Timberwolves up one. Like I said, I'm high in this Timberwolves team, but I don't know if they'll get past the other teams that I have on there. Top 10 offense, top 10 defense. I have them maxed out as a second round. Rudy Gobert. Yeah, I have them maxed out as a second round. I'll be honest. I'm sorry, Timberwolves. And in the first round, I have the Grizzlies, the Magic, and the Pistons. And mid-size playing the Blazers, Bulls, Hawks, Heat, Kings, Mavericks, Spurs, and Suns. Cooper Flag tier, these are the bottom of the barrel teams. You have the Sixers, Hornets, Jazz, Nets, Pelicans, Raptors, and also the Washington Wizards. But other than that, that is the official 2024-2025 NBA playoff tier list. Yeah.